Why do I need spirituality? Actually, to understand, I would like to start from you don't need spirituality. Now, let me explain you a little bit clearer, because this will help you understand in a better fashion. I started with you don't need spirituality, because in spirituality, when you say you need spirituality, you are trying to mean that you don't have something and you want to feel a need for it, and then you want to attain that state or become something. You only need when you want to become something. So where there is a need, there is a process of becoming, and there is an acceptance that it is already not there within me. The truth is, in spirituality, if you understand, the ultimate state where you finally reach is within your own self. So you don't need a spiritual, or you don't need spirituality. You just have to be spiritual. Now, spirituality, if I would like to interpret it as a verb, the functioning out of your own spirit is spirituality. It's not by some god, it's not by behaving by a set pattern of rules, regulations, or something like that. Because spirituality, though people these days consider that as a noun, I would like to consider that as a verb, where you function out of your own spirit. Now, if you see, in Sanatana Dharma, they say, Mannat Karanam iti Bandhamokshayoh. So, the mind is the reason for all bondage, and mind is the reason for all liberation. You are happy, your mind is the reason for it. You are unhappy, your mind is the reason for it. And your mind continuously identifies, conceptualizes, and tries to put you into sentimentality. If you understand, sentimentality, concepts, and identification limit you. What you identify, you define it, and what you define, you confine. And man builds a concept by his own identification mechanism, and he becomes a slave to his own concept. So from the time immemorial, the identifications, concepts, and the sentimentality, which is the product of the mind, has made man a limited being, to be precise. Spirituality, on the contrary, is a process of unfoldment, where you behave and be out of your own spirit. You don't try to become somebody, you don't try to achieve something. So, you don't need spirituality, you should behave and be spiritual. Spirituality is all about your own self. Spirituality is all about knowing that you are greater than your greatness. I would like to explain this further more by quoting an important sloka which I continuously quote, because this is my most favorite sloka. It says, the Etavanasya mahiman ato jayaya gumschaha purushaha padoscha visvabhutani tripadasya amrutam divihi. In the Purusha Suktam in the Vedas, this sloka is mentioned, and they say, Whatever you see is the greatness of God, and the greatness of God is with God because He is greater than His greatness. Now, I would like to stop here and I would like to explain it further in your life. If you see, before you passed out your 10th, you felt, this is what I can do, and this is what I should do, and this is difficult for me. Once you crossed out of your, or once you passed your examination, you felt 10th is easy. The same thing happened for your intermediate. The same thing happened in your graduation. And while doing, if you are studying an engineering or a medicine or some professional course or something, some graduation, you had an idea about what it would be. When you are studying for engineering, you expected yourself with an identification, a definition of an engineer, and you expected yourself to be, wow, this is what being an engineer is. But the truth is, when you become engineer, you don't feel the same. You feel a different thing. The truth is, every time life challenges you, and every time when you have overcome that challenge, you feel that that was easy for you. That is the reason why, for a 10th class kid, an engineer is a great man. But for an engineer, being engineer is normal, it's common. There are so many people there out there. So that way, you are always challenged and to only realize that you are greater than your greatness. So when you are happy, when you are successful in your life, or when you have all the abundance that you seek in your life, only at that point in time, you need to be truly spiritual, because you have to understand, when there is nothing to challenge, you yourself are a biggest challenge to yourself. And you are greater than your greatness. One important thing that every human being forgets is, when he is happy, he feels that he doesn't need anything more. And when he is unhappy, life tries to give you unhappiness or some failure only to remind you that you are always greater than your greatness, and what all you have is just padoscha visvabhutani. What all you have is just 1/4. What all you have in your life is just an expression. What all I talk. That is the reason why they say enlightened beings, when they talk, they can't really express their enlightenment state. Why? Because a state of enlightenment is a state which can never be verbalized, conceptualized, or identified. Because the more I identify, the more I try to verbalize, conceptualize, and try to give you an understanding, the truth is, it's lost. The same way, what all you have is just a small part, and what all is there within you is that infinite. When you want to unfold your inner infinite potential, one thing that you should understand in spirituality is a process of you exploring your own inner infinite potential. But in exploring your inner infinite potential, the first thing that you should remember is, in the finite, there is infinite. I take a board, huge board, white board or a black board, and then I draw a circle. Now, what is there within the circle is what is there outside the circle. I take a white board and I say, what is this? You say it's a board, white board. I draw a circle on a white board and show the board to you and say, what is it? Then you will say it's a circle. You will miss the concept that it is a board. And you will also miss the concept that what is there within the circle, the white board, is also there outside the circle. The circle is just the definition. This very definition has confined the concept of its own infiniteness. Now, the circle, being a circle, limited the board. If I remove the borders of the circle, then the inside of the circle is naturally merged with the outside of the circle and you are abundant. So how you can explore yourself? By erasing off your own personal identifications and concepts, thereby erasing your own limitations and continuously challenging yourself, knowing you are greater than your greatness is the fundamental idea of spirituality. So when you behave or be out of your spirit, it's a natural tendency to challenge your own greatness and realize all your greatness is within you and you are greater than your greatness. So why should you be spiritual? Because you are a being who continuously, constantly, subconsciously or consciously try to challenge your own self, your own limitations. And to do this effectively, this process of inner unfoldment or merging the boundaries of the circle into the remaining is what the spirituality is. So be spiritual. Don't try to need spirituality or don't try to achieve spirituality. Spirituality can never be achieved. As a board and there is a circle, the board within the circle need not achieve the board because it is already that whiteboard. All that you need to do is disown your own boundaries and know that you are infinite. In the finite, there is infinite. Within a limited body of consciousness, this consciousness, as long as I feel in the realms of my own body, mind and perception, I am limited. And when I think beyond this, when I erase this limitation of this body, when I erase my limitations of my mind, continuously trying to conceptualize my concepts. That is the reason why God can never be described, enlightenment can never be described, because what all you describe comes within the circle. And what is there within the circle is just 1/4. What is there within your life, what's happening right now is just 1/4. And the remaining, Tripadasya Amrutam Divihi, the remaining 2/3, it's infinite. It's there, still there, waiting to be explored. Actually, the reason why man from the Sanatana Dharma started spiritual quest is also for the very same reason, to continuously, constantly explore. The unknown makes the man curious. And whatever he knows, he feels he is limited. And that is the reason why they say the unknown has a magnetic effect. But when you truly know, you understand the unknown tries to attract you because of that unknown is already there within me. And that is the reason why in spirituality, we do not pray God. In religion, we pray God. In religion, we have rules. In religion, we have discipline. In religion, we have mode or ethics of conduct. But in spirituality, it's just existence. Continuously challenging your own greatness and be greater than your greatness.